Hello, welcome back to our continuing discussions of CSS, the box model, this time inline elements. So our reference again, the MDN pages on the box model. So the box model on inline elements. So recall that an inline element does not start a new line and only takes up as much space and width as necessary. So a block element takes up a new line and it takes up the entire width of its parent element. So the A tag, the image tag, the span tag, and the emphasis tag are examples of inline elements. The box model applies differently to an inline element. It applies to the horizontal, that's my summary of it, that is following the line, but applies partially to the vertical. So from the MDN pages directly, the box will not break a new line, the width and height properties will not apply. Vertical padding, margins, and borders will apply, but will not cause other inline boxes to move away from the box. Horizontal padding, margins, and borders will apply and will cause other inline boxes to move away. So think about horizontal padding as the padding, margins, and borders that follow the line, and vertical patterns are off the line. They apply partially, as we'll see. The other thing we want to discuss is the hybrid, when the display property is set to inline block. So the inline block does not break a new line and obeys sizing of the inline content rules. However, it also fully applies the box model, kind of a hybrid between inline behavior and block behavior, very useful for design work. So here's our examples, and I have a mixture here on the page of paragraphs and spans. Paragraph are, of course, block elements, and you can see a short paragraph takes up the entire width of its parent. It's styled according to this with a solid green background and some padding inside. It inhabits the box model. So here I have inside of this paragraph some spans. The first span here I actually changed to the block class through this. So I applied this block class to that span, and it applies a blue border and display block. And you can see that it applies the block elements that are defined here for spans. So border red, the border, background color, then the height and width applied because it's a block element. And then the padding also, you can see it fully applies to the block. Now this span here, I did not apply the block class to it, so it's a normal inline span, and it's behaving according to span rules. Okay, I've edited it a little bit. Let me refresh this page so we get just a look of the from the HTML. Okay. So here we have this. Let's inspect this in here, and we can see the box model fully applied to this rule, to this as a block element, and then this element here remaining an inline element. And we can see its behavior here. So if I give it a margin here, since it's a horizontal margin, it's embraced and believed in. A vertical margin, however, says to apply, but really there's nothing visible that you can even see from that. Notice here, this element with 100 margin at the top, pretty much ignored. But this horizontal margin here, believed in, and it pushed this box. Put this box away. Let me hit refresh on the page and go back to our original CSS, and here we are here. Okay, so horizontal padding believed in. Now this is interesting. This padding is applied, and this is the partial apply of the padding of the element here. So the padding is believed in, and it looks like the padding grows, which it does, but it doesn't push other elements away from it. So that's the behavior of an inline element in the box model. Next, we'll discuss the behavior of our hybrid, which is our inline block, and that's these here. So I've styled this paragraph as an inline block, this one, and this span I've also styled as an inline block, and now that span is behaving very much like its sibling paragraphs over there. So it becomes a block element. However, that is a block element, but because it's still in line, that is, it's an inline block from this display property here. It doesn't break a new line. It believes solidly, though, because it's a span. It actually applies all the horizontal and rules apply to this. So that makes this one look more like this one because it's behaving as a block element. This one was forced by setting it as a display block. This one is an inline block exhibiting both inline behaviors, not breaking for a new line as this one does, but fully applying all the aspects of the box model. So inline blocks are useful for applying box model to your elements, but also being able to put what are normally block elements and arrange them side by side. And that's their usefulness, as we'll see as we develop our CSS skills. So that wraps it up for our box model. Thank you very much.